Hey, what's going on, guys? So here in Chicagoland, I just heard about this brand new reptile shop that recently opened. They opened under really bad circumstances, but they're open, they're thriving, they're doing well, and from what I understand, this is a really awesome reptile shop. I haven't had a chance to tour it yet, but I'm going in to do that right now, and I'm taking y'all with me as I tour Chief Reptiles here in Chicagoland. Because I'm not really sure what suburb I'm in. I'm Dāv Kaufman, and these are my reptile adventures. Rainbow Mealworms is not only a proud sponsor of this channel, they are the premier source for all your reptile food needs. They grow all of their quality insects in-house, and I use them exclusively for all my insect-eating reptiles. So place your order today at rainbowmealworms.net or click the link in the description below. Everybody wants to come to Chief Reptiles. Look at this little guy. We'll be open in a minute there, Birdie. All right, so this is Brooke and this is Michelle. You guys are giving us a tour of this really awesome reptile shop. Now this place is like a year and a half old. So you guys just opened like in 2020, and I understand
during the pandemic.
Right before the pandemic started. Yeah. So you guys opened like
not a good time.
Not a good time. But you're here, you're thriving, this place is awesome. All right, so right up here, as soon as you walk in the shop, you get to see one of the coolest dudes ever.
So this is Frederick, our black and white Argentine tegu. He was donated to the store, and he's about 6 or 7 years old, but he's a good boy. He has his moments, especially in breeding season, which he seems to be kind of finishing up right now, but he is very sweet. We'll let him walk around the store in the mornings, get some exercise, and his favorite thing is just climbing on top of this box and basking. One of my favorite things that he does is he'll have his head facing forward, and some kids will be standing here and he'll yawn, and the looks on their faces, it gets me every time.
That is a gorgeous tegu. I love those jowls. I mean, that's the thing about a tegu that I love.
Yep. I wish I had built-in pillows on my neck like that.
Right? All right, and then Brooke found her way up there. What do you got?
This is Leo, our green iguana. He's our long-term resident. He's about 5 years old. We've been working with him. Michelle rehabbed him a ton. He used to be completely terrified of people. But he hangs out here and he greets the customers and he lets us know when he needs to be fed.
Aww.
He lets us know when the next green order needs to be placed.
Yeah, there you go.
This is the smaller female Tenosaura. She's just a little bit flighty. She's just a really good representation of a smaller, beautiful iguana. She's not that flighty once you take her out and work with her over time. We just think they're a really good beginner, bigger, larger lizard. If you want to get an iguana eventually one day, these are a good intro just to get used to their behavior, their movement, and how they work.
Right on. But look at this one. This one is really dark for a young Tenosaurus. But Michelle just got this one out, and you can see that it still has that green undertones. So when these guys hatch, they start out green. They look like green iguanas, and then as they grow, they start to get their adult colors. And now these guys come from Central America. These guys are all over Costa Rica, and these guys are really awesome iguanas. So I love how you have these really huge, elaborate enclosures for them, and the sign of a really cool reptile shop is the attention to detail. So look at this, you got this pond here, you've got a couple of turtles in here, you've got a couple of unprocessed fish sticks in here. Look at this, I mean, this place is really awesome. Look at these enclosures.
We try to give them as natural of a setup as possible without hiding them from the world, because we are a pet store. We have to display the animals. We have to show people the animals. So it's really important that you make them open, beautiful, and make the animals comfortable, because that's what gets them to thrive in captivity here.
I couldn't agree more. All right, so moving on, what else we got here?
This is our veiled setup. Like I said, it's not traditional. We don't keep them in a breeze enclosure. We do keep them in an exoterra, all glass. We provide enough ventilation that we make sure that there's no stagnant air, that they don't get upper respiratories or anything like that. But this is a way that we're able, in the Midwest especially, because we have so many fluctuations, it's able to control their temperature and their humidity levels at an easier rate. She's really, really happy in her enclosure. She likes to fire up and down just as you walk by and look at her and give her attention. She is a female, so she's not going to display the colors that a male displays, but as you can see, as she's moving around, she's lightening up, and she's got some gorgeous undertones of light green and whites, and is a very beautiful girl.
That is a beautiful girl.
But I think that's like the really cool thing about these animals, is they're a beautiful display animal, and they are just a really awesome animal to have in your room if you have reptiles.
For sure. Awesome. You gotta love the veileds. All right, but behind you, while you're putting that back, Michelle, what do we have over here?
Yeah, so this is mainly colubrids, king snakes, milk snakes, corn snakes with some oddballs in there like the brown African house snakes. But yeah, these are all juveniles for the most part, I believe, right, Brooke? My favorite's the Sonoran gopher snake.
Then let's take out the Sonoran gopher snake.
Okay, we got it.
For
Let me
sure.
grab a key really quick.
Oh, look at this beauty. And yep, that's a pitch-u-o fish.
Yep. Even got the tail rattle going.
There you go.
So they're just really great snakes. Like most juvenile colubrids, they're going to be a bit feisty, but I've noticed that these guys are more so bluffers, whereas like Mexican black king snakes will just kind of chew on you a little bit. And the more you handle them as they get older, the more they mellow out a bit, and they're just great eaters, which I like about them too.
So we're going to move away from the snakes here, but back here, we've got all the dry goods that you guys need for all of your enclosures to build these really awesome enclosures over here.
We really focus on bioactive and building here too. So like we have some of the substrates over in the back, but we really focus on making our own and having our own like supplies. So Michelle here, she makes her own blend. I don't know, Michelle, if you want to talk about what you...
Yeah, you make your own dirt.
Yes, I do. I'm a dirt farmer. So this is our tropical blend, but I also make arid and desert. Depending on the animal, I try to customize it. So people will be picking up an animal from here, and I'll go over a bioactive consultation with them. And if it's not a tropical, which we have on the floor, then I make it to order, get the size of the enclosure and everything.
That is really cool.
Make it in the back, whip it up, and then if they want, we can put the enclosure together here for them too. So customers can come in here, get their new reptile, and then you will set up a bioactive enclosure for them. Within half an hour.
Wow, that is super cool.
Yeah, and then we'll have isopods and springtails here. Right now we have this as an isopod display because I really love especially showing kids about the world of isopods because they're super easy to take care of, and I think it's a great way to ease kids into the routine of taking care of something without it possibly being too overwhelming. Yeah, it's really fun. I love doing that for people.
So you guys really go above and beyond here.
Yes, yeah.
That is awesome. All right, so moving away from the dry goods, moving away from this awesome section, we are moving over here to what?
This is our boa section. Right now we just got a straggler ball, but right out I have a hypo Nicaraguan boa. We try to push a lot of the smaller localities of BCI just because they're easier to manage, and especially in this area, people can't have large constrictors over 6 to 8 feet, I believe. So we focus on smaller species of boas. So we have the Nicaraguan, we carry other BCIs as well, and then we're working with boa sigma, so we'll be producing Sonora boas in the future. The hypo though is one of my favorites just because you can see that pink underbelly is just to die for, and then the silver that comes out in these guys is just insane as they grow. Nicaraguans I think are just an overlooked boa in the community, so we try to bring in stuff that are super beautiful animals, especially in the community.
And then over here, we've got the tarantula section, which is always awesome. And who do we have here?
This is a mature male avicularia, or a metallic pink toe. We have many for sale here. Over here, we have got some younger ones, but we actually breed them here at the store. So we just like to show off some cool little inverts here and there because I think they're overlooked and they're misunderstood for sure.
I agree 100%.
But we got our old worlds, we got our new worlds, and we have just our displays just to show people how you can keep these guys.
All right, and so we turn the corner and look at this. You have all of these really cool enclosures, really awesomely set up, I'm sure by you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ian Brooke, yeah.
And these are all the frogs and amphibians over here.
Yeah, so we have anywhere from red-eyed tree frogs, something a little more simple like the White's tree frogs. And then we have our voluptuous blood tomato frogs, which are one of my favorites. Are you good?
Oh, look
there's
at that.
one.
This is what I love about big, dumpy frogs and toads. They just are so big, they are so fat, and they just don't care. I respect that. But this guy is just a little juvenile. This guy's gonna get much bigger than this.
Yeah, so they're gonna stop about softball size.
Yeah, yeah, that is cool. All right, so back to boas, obviously, real quick. Look at this.
So yeah, this is one of our breeders. This is a hypo leopard Sonoran boa. He is about 3 years old, and we've been working with him just to get him up to size for breeding. But he is a gorgeous snake. He's about full grown. So these guys are super cool. They stop about 6-7 feet. So they're one of the smaller boa localities. And then my favorite thing about these guys is the wicked underside.
That is a wicked underside. All right, so moving on, we have the lizard section. And look at that dude right there. So these green-keeled lizards, they are gaining in popularity all the time.
As they should.
And you can't really find them, and this one is sold.
It is.
So yeah, I really think that these lizards are gonna blow up big time.
I hope they do. I think they're really underrated. I literally call them mini tree monitors.
Right.
They're super smart, interactive. They do seek out attention with people, which I think is an ongoing thing in the hobby. You want animals that interact with you more. So something that is smaller than a tree monitor, the cage sizing's easier, the overall care can be easier. So I think it's a push into the direction of working with monitors and larger lizards without having to go with a tree monitor or a mangrove.
I think you're dead on right. All right, and then down here we've got a crocodile gecko. These guys are awesome.
So I have 2 of these at home. One was found at a garden center and the other one was found in a warehouse. So they're great hitchhikers on shipments apparently.
Yeah.
But I recently learned that the males vocalize after I brought a male home, which I thought was really cool. It's a very nice subtle call, unlike my tokays.
What did he say to you?
He's flirting with his neighbor over there. I have Irwin and Betty Crocker, so.
Irwin and Betty Crocker. Okay.
Yep.
Why? I got to know the story of how you named a crocodile gecko Betty Crocker. Does it cook? Does it make a lot of brownies?
I
What's going
love
on?
like play on word names, so I was like, I asked my boyfriend actually because I was like, I named Irwin, so let's do something else, and he's like Betty Crocker. I'm like, all right, we're going with Betty Crocker.
All right.
But Betty Crocker might be a dude, so we might have to do Bert Crocker or something.
Bert Crocker. There you go. I like it. Okay, so moving on over here. What do we got down here?
I thought I could show you one of your favorites.
Yes.
This is the Central American. I think these guys are a super underrated gecko. I think they're kind of just like a miniature leopard gecko.
They are.
But yeah, these guys are a very cool gecko. Once you work with them over time, they calm down and you can do more handling with them. But yeah, again, it's another animal like the leopard gecko. They're all over. People put them in 40 gallons. These guys, you can get away with the 20 gallon. You can get away with smaller spaces, and they do just fine.
Absolutely. And so this is a Central American, which gets a little bit bigger than the ones that we have here in the United States, in the southwestern United States. But these guys are so cool and so underrated, and these are the eubotherid geckos that are related to fat-tailed geckos and leopard geckos. They're all in that same family. So this is Ryan. You are the owner of Chief Reptiles here, and how long have you been into reptiles, and what made you decide to open a shop?
I haven't been in reptiles very long, only about maybe like 5-6 years.
Sure.
And I got one leopard gecko, then I got another leopard gecko, and then this happened.
Wow. So usually people make the jump from leopard gecko to leopard gecko to bearded dragon to corn snake and on to ball python, whatever. You went from leopard to reptile shop.
Yeah.
That's pretty epic, actually.
Yeah. I used to be more into aquatic saltwater tanks and stuff.
Gotcha.
Like that. Even my tattoos and everything.
Yeah, sure.
Saltwater.
Look at that.
And then I guess it crossed over into this.
Well,
but it kind of came from probably my father and my family. They were.
Welcome to the better side of the hobby.
Oh yeah.
All right. So who do we have here?
Well, this is a very special snake of ours.
And now you were telling me that Ranger is an Argentine boa, obviously, but he's also a rescue.
Yes.
So this guy was just turned into the shop here, and now he's going to basically be a shop pet, isn't he?
Yes.
All right, so while your mouth is covered, I'm going to ask you, it's so cool to have a place like this for, animals that the owners really can't care for them anymore for whatever reason, but it gives them a place to bring their animals and know that their animals are going to be very well cared for here. And that's pretty awesome. That's a great step from 2 leopard geckos.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so I think we've got time to see one more and the best for last. Everybody loves a frilled dragon.
Frilled dragons. So this is Rhea and this is Hera. I've had them since 2019. So I've raised them from hatchlings. They are very tame. They've done educational events. They go pretty much all over. But these guys I talk about a lot because they're an arboreal bearded dragon. I think they're very underrated, and I think people really skewed their care a lot in captivity.
I agree.
They're super easy to care for. They eat the same diet as bearded dragons, same basking temps. They're just going to be a little bit more tropical, especially the Australian species. But these guys are a super cool, interactive pet that should be out in a lot of more people's homes because they're just overall a very well-mannered lizard, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. And
they're personable.
They're personable for
sure.
sure.
And they're awesome.
They come right out on the cage, as you see when I go in there. They're super sweet. They just want to interact with people, I think, in a different way. And I think what's super cool about these guys is they're communal. So when I've raised babies or had other rehab frillies, I've been able to raise them with these girls. And they have no problem with competition. They kind of figure out their hierarchy, and then they go from there.
That is just awesome. And how many do you have here? 3?
3. So these are the 2 girls. We keep the 2 girls separate. And then the male is over here. And this is Midas.
Midas.
He's going to be a little bit more spicy sometimes.
You're right.
But yeah, this is his coloring. He's an absolutely gorgeous boy. If I can get his frills to come out. Usually you do it on your own.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
It's early in the morning. We'll just blame it on
He's waking up, yeah. But he's got really pretty reds and yellows in his frills you can see behind.
Yep, and that is the difference between the New Guinea and the Australian frilled dragons, is that the Australians get these nice oranges and reds.
Yeah, where the New Guineas are usually more like yellow, black.
Exactly.
They're going to be dyed down a little bit.
Exactly. That is such a cool lizard. Look at how personable he is. Michelle and Brooke, thank you so much for this really awesome tour of this really awesome pet shop. If you are in the Chicagoland area, you have got to come and check out this really awesome, brand new reptile shop. Guys, again, thank you for this tour. So guys, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment below, let me know what you guys think of this really awesome reptile shop. And until the next reptile adventure, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.